Hey guys, what's going on? Sunday, Rabid here. How are you guys doing today? What's everyone up to? Is this coming through? Oh, I have like a massive delay on my feedback. I'm just going to hit the quick refresh button here and see if that fixes anything. Hold on. There we go. All right, so hopefully everything is all good. Anyway, let's do a quick roll call. See who we got in the house right now. We got Levy Davis, what is happening? Ogre MGTOW. We do have DM Ditro Buznik. I butchered that probably. Grey Wolf, what's happening? Fudweiser. Yeah, nice. Michael Flores, what's going on? J-Rod, D, Crossbow Mining, Josh Mayfield, Team JFK, Wrath OX, Checkmark Man. Mr. Checkmark is in the house. Mike Baldwin, Dom G, Todd Fruit, Eric Duff, we got Toll PC Labs, the Pirates in the house. Oh, what? It jumped on me already? What's going on? J Mining, Keith Henninger, Crossbow Mining, Lovey Davis again, and what is that? Shub Hashish Mishra. Did I say that right? Buying an AE box, worth or not? See, that's up in the air. Great question. Oh, yeah, Sunday's using AMA. I didn't put that on the title, but yeah, ask questions whenever you want. You know, I'm up in the air on that because right now, you know, we do have Ice River's miners set to release sometime next month here. Let's just see exactly when that is, because as we know, it depends which one you actually want, though. If it's the first KA box, then obviously, you know, that's getting older at this point, even though it's new. So actually, it's the end of April, middle to end. So you got like a month. You know, I'm still up in the air because obviously this is going to be the better miner. Guys, links in the description if you're looking for any of these things, as well as discount codes on my website. But yeah, crazy stuff. So, you know, I'm up in the air. So far, Aleo mining has actually been good. It's been about 2 months since Gold Shell Miners released. It doesn't seem like many people are buying. The yields have not dropped at all. You're still getting good yields, which means hopefully if Aleo does see a pump coming forward, especially when Bitmain finally announces their miners in the next 4 months or so, we should see a fast ROI on that. But it depends what it pumps to. We don't know. But, you know, this is the next gen coming out. It's going to be rough. And, you know, obviously first gens of things from people are going to be expensive when then they later on their price will drop quite a bit. But by the time that price drops, you know, it's not worth getting any of these, especially when Bitmain releases. It's going to be rough times for all those miners once Bitmain does release. Again, it comes down as large farms, a bunch of people even going to buy those. That's up in the air. You know, we still have to see. Michael Flores, thank you for the US $2. What is that? Ether miner? Ether miner? Is that supposed to be like an Ethereum miner? Or is that like something totally different? Aether miner. Don't know what an Ether miner is, but unless that's Ethash. So fill me in on exactly what you mean by that, because I'm not 100% sure. Don't buy AE box. No. Wish that Ice River would sell those little miners for less. Too risky, like Kaspa and RXD and the Lithium mine. See, J-Rod D, that's the big gamble, and that's the thing here. Because obviously, we look at any type of profit calculators right now, they're in the lead charts of profitability. Obviously, this is not released yet, so this profit is going to drop. This is currently sitting at 10-cent power right now. If you're curious about the numbers. So it's looking like the profit is there, not much, but then coming down, and, you know, as soon as Bitmain and stuff releases, and depending how many people buy Ice Rivers, then we will see this drop even more, depending on the Aleo price. But yeah, it's a rough up in the air because they're more profitable at the start before the release. Obviously, their price is higher. It doesn't cost them any more, any less to make, depending on the crypto price and network hash rates. They just start dropping their price for a lower profit margin once it becomes less and less profitable. So obviously, they're trying to capitalize on people buying these miners early, and then, you know, for the bigger profits, and then that allows them to afford to drop the prices later on, obviously, when the profitability isn't there. So it's a huge gamble, which really comes down to when will Bitmain really release their miner, and what will a Leo do in the future? Because you're obviously, well, you might be buying these to sell every day, but I would not be selling everything probably daily right now, especially when we should have altcoin season really starting in the next month or two. And then depending on which wave a Leo may be in, you're really going to want to wait till later on the year to finally dump those coins and not miss the boat either. Don't keep waiting for something to keep going up. Make a call, set a price limit, and just accept it and go from there. Because if you don't and you keep waiting for it to go up, eventually it's going to crash down to nothing and we're back in that bear market again. Altcoins do not last very long. So yeah, it's up in the air, and it all depends obviously on your power prices and stuff too, and if you're rich or not, and all sorts of other things. Amplifier Gaming, 85k subs are damn kidding. Nice, 100k is coming. Hopefully that'd be nice. 85k is a nice milestone, guys. 15,000 more to go until we hit 100k, and obviously at 100k is when you get that awesome little white check mark thing and stuff, and you beat YouTube at that point. No, you didn't, but it's a nice milestone. It'd be really nice to finally hit that. It's been working hard for 4 or 5 years now, and it's all about organic growth. You guys, the community, it's all about strong community, sharing videos, all sorts of cool stuff like that. So obviously we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for any of you guys. So it all comes down to you guys, to the strength of a channel long term. Down to the money. Yeah, it's all down to the money. What do we got here? Is Michael Flores, did he say anything more update on what he means by that miner? I don't see anything yet. I do see Schaefer and Rio6969 over there. I got my chats open this time, unlike yesterday where I apologize for ignoring some of you guys over there, but we're over there. Panda Raid is coming in now. I thought it was in earlier. It's just rocking in now. We got 60 viewers, 18 likes. Hit that like button, guys. It mines ATH. I don't know what ATH is. ATH. Let me just see if I can find ATH. ATH isn't even on mining pool stats. So yeah, I'm not sure what coin ATH is. Remember, guys, I've been kind of out of the loop for the past 3 months. So I got a lot of catching up to do to see what the heck has been going on with crypto, what coins are doing what new coins may be out there, and things like that. Thoughts on mining Cubic and Zealous these days? Zealous, I think, has a pretty good future. Cubic has no clue what it's doing. Hopefully Cubic does something. Like, I hope all coins do something. But like, if you're standing back as a miner or just anybody looking at a coin, and Cubic has no clue. They might have a clue, and they might have an idea and a way to go or where they want to end up. But what they're doing and doing testnet on their mainnet every single week, they have no clue what's going on. Like, it is a headache to mine Cubic. Does anyone agree, disagree? If you guys mine Cubic, it is an absolute headache. You do not know what to build. You do not know what to get. I don't know how you're supposed to support a network where you don't know what kind of hardware you're going to need. Like, as an example here, if you're new to Cubic and you're not sure how it went down. I remember originally it started on CPUs. It was extremely profitable on CPU mining. It was actually being rented for Vast rigs before anyone really heard about it. Then we found out about what coin Vast was being rented for and making all that money. And what just happened? Did my stream just die on me, or did my internet go out? Hold on, I'm hitting the refresh button. Are we still live? My screen just went white on my stream. Okay, we're still there. That was so weird. I don't know what happened to my thingamajigger there, but we are still live. All right, so Cubic anyway. So then, it's CPU mineable, and they slowly started bringing in GPU miners, and they want to do an AI thing. And the AI that they want to do in the end game requires heavy CPU loads, not GPU loads. They're depending on the AI and stuff that you want to do. There are certain aspects that a CPU does way better than a GPU, and there's other aspects a GPU does way better than CPU. Just like looking at algorithms, random X versus, another coin like, I don't even know, Raven coin, things like that. It all depends on the algorithm. Anyway, endgame for Cubic is 100% massive CPU loads on what they want to do. But right now, they've been going CPUs, and then you needed a whole bunch of RAM. So then 1 week, every Wednesday they reset their chain, they adjust the algorithm a little, and it changes. So then all of a sudden you needed like double the RAM that you previously needed to run all your threads and all this whatever they're doing there. And then GPUs came on, then GPUs were way better, and then they forked in something, then GPUs get nerfed, and you're back to CPUs, and then you don't need any RAM requirements anymore. And then they put the RAM requirements back on, then they removed them the following week, then they went back to GPUs being better, and it's constantly back and forth. every single week. I don't know. I think it's probably been GPU the past month or so now. I have no idea in terms of hash rate and profits, but it's constantly changing. So like if you want to build a rig for Cubic, you got to buy all the best GPUs, all the best CPUs, and hope and figure out what the hell they're doing this week because they have no clue. Now they want to add in XMR somehow, and I do believe it's the nodes, or maybe eventually they want to auto swap all the people even mining, because they added in this stupid idle time thing now where the chain mines, I think, for 45 minutes and it's down for a half an hour, or maybe it's mines for an hour and it's down for a half an hour, 45 minutes. I can't remember exactly, what the time structure is, but in the off time, supposedly the people that are running the nodes on Cubic are then pointing the node hardware over to my Monero, and eventually somehow they plan on doing like Cubic buyback where they sell that Monero and then they buy all the Cubic to help raise the price up. And then eventually, I don't know if they want all the miners on the network instead of having downtime, because people now have been pointing to other coins. Like it used to be Spectre. I don't know if they still are. And then they go to like Zeph or Monero or, any other coin, maybe Zealous on your CPUs. And, miners were kind of pointing to other coins in that downtime, and then it go back to Cubic. They're kind of like Epic Cash type of mining there. So like, I have no idea what's going on there. I don't think they have a clue what they're doing. They're constantly changing it and just saying this is the way it is. Not talking to their community at all. And on top of that, the dev is more centralized than Dynix. Like, I know Dynix is the way it's always been, so that's the way it is. So deal with it. But like, it is crazy. I remember the dev there one time, he posted like, I will take all the coins if I have to. I have all the coins. I have access to the coins. Oh, you guys went down? I'm taking your coins, like from the nodes and everything. And like, it is absolutely an insane circus happening at Cubic. So as for your question, is it better to mine? I think it'd be better to mine Zealous. You at least have a dev and stuff that talks to the community and the miners and the purchasers and traders. You have a dev that's actively trying to build and not confuse the crap out of everybody. And long term, I think Zealous will probably end up doing better, but we'll see what happens long term. So that's my 2 cents between those two. That's kind of going on there. But yeah, I do like Zealous personally. I do like Zealous. I wish I had a lot more and I should mine it more, but I just haven't. Things have been kind of rough in the profitability department. When Roblox, maybe spec plays early on. Spec is the only way to seriously earn anything in crypto these days. You're gonna get burnt on probably 9 out of 10 coins, but there's the one coin that will end up making up for it. Look at early Kaspa. You got crap tons early spec mining Kaspa on CPUs before it was even on GPUs. And then you got it on GPUs, and then it went to ASICs and stuff. But the majority and all the coins of Kaspa got mined out. Like 60 or 70% of the coins got mined out in the first 6 months. That means the huge bag holders are early miner adopters that tried that spec coin. And then, the next 5-6 coins after that, Dunduck, whatever else, I don't know the timeline. I'm just throwing out stupid coins that emerged. And, they just turned into being stupid trash. You never know. And then, you move on, and then maybe you hit something again and that coin does something wicked, and then you make a lot of money again. So spec mining is definitely the play these days, and you never know what's going to happen. Just if the profit's there, guys, don't be afraid to take them. Duck J-Rod's laughing. He knows what I'm talking about. Oh, man. Congrats, 85K subs. Thanks. And BTC is 85K. See, that's funny. I hit 85K subs. BTC hits 85K. Bitcoin's birthday is on January 3rd. My birthday's January 3rd. I'm not manipulating the crap out of it at all. Oh, man. Ride the wave. You never know. Exactly. And, spec mining is fun, too. Just finding that coin where there's no hash rate, and then all of a sudden putting hash rate on, you're like, wow, I'm getting like a lot of coins. And then all of a sudden, everyone else starts putting all their hash rate on, it drops. And then, but the next step is, wait a couple weeks, a month, it gets listed finally. And then all of a sudden, boom, it explodes. Boom, it dumps down to nothing. Maybe it dumps down to nothing and slowly recovers and does a new all-time high. Like, it's really fun hitting that. But again, most of the time, you're going to get wrecked on a lot of new coins and rug pulls and things like that. Rabid to 1 million subs, BTC to 1 million. Yes, that's the goal. We're going to do that. That sounds like a plan to me. Let's do that. What's up next? What do we got here? Funwise, Mike Baldwin between Rabid being sick and me working every weekend. It's been hard to keep up with you guys. Yeah, it's been rough times everywhere. Now, did I miss some comments up here? We got Funwiser upgraded membership to Rabid's Den. We got Monkey Dude. What I missed? Not too much. Didn't miss too much stuff, I don't think. Not happening around there. Don't forget CFB equals Satoshi. CFB, come from behind. He's no Satoshi at all. He's more like, he doesn't have a clue himself. Like LCN, I mined like 184 million back in the day with USB miners. Now it's CPU mineable. Things change. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. I didn't know that Linkcoin and Kylacoin were made by like the same people. That's kind of why they're keeping them together in the same infrastructure. So that's pretty sweet. So that also points out, though, there's a lot of freaking coins out there when it comes to Linkcoin for that very reason. But I haven't looked at any, like, let's take a look at some prices here. Like, how is crypto performing? Let's look at the past 24 hours. We can see, what is this? What is that? Is that my watch list? All right, so now let's look at the past 24 hours. Of course, Avian, someone bought $5 worth of Avian. It's up almost 2,400%. So that's good. What's the volume on this actually for real? Does it say volume? Volume. It doesn't even say. Let's come into here and look at Avian. What is the current volume of Avian right now? Looks like Zedrix has $62 here. So someone bought $62 worth in the past 24 hours and has shot it up, almost 2,400%. Nice. It looks good on a chart, but you're not going to be selling any coins. You're not going to be pulling out $1 million from that anytime soon. We got Yata coins up 211%. That's nice. I think what did it peak at there not too long? It went around 4 cents or something, but yeah, it's 211% gain in the past 24. Not too shabby. Duro was up 21. I was just looking at Duro the other day. I was like, I wonder if I should start mining myself some Duro again. It's been a little while. And some of you guys who are mining Duro, you may have noticed the other day my pool went down and I lost a bunch of hash rate now, but it looks like Duro in general lost a bunch of hash rate. So I might be sitting around the pool, should be, especially compared to the community pool there, my SRV cloud. But let's just make this a little bigger. But yeah, the other day my pool went down. I was like, what's going on here? I got the down detector and it showed me and I was like, what's happening here? And then I went to finally message Marcel, because usually it comes back up after about 10 minutes or so. So I was just waiting to see. And then I saw Marcel message me. I guess on the platform I'm hosting the server from, OVH, I actually had, the hard drive filled up on my package. So we had Marcel, he went through there and he deleted all the old data DR folders and directories, and then we had to resync the node, and then he got it all back up and running again. So that was the issue there the other day, guys, is my storage was full from the blockchain. Obviously, through all the updates and stuff, you get new blockchains, just rename it for fast syncs again, so on. So we deleted a bunch of the older ones to free up some space. It synced right back up again, and now we're up and running. So if you're a Duro miner and you need a pool, remember, it's always better. I got to point this out because it's the truth. You can't lie to people. I'm not saying go use my pool because everything else sucks. The best way to mine Duro is on your own node at home. It's the most profitable way to get it. You'll get a few more coins than mining to a pool because of fees and stuff, and so on. So obviously, if you want to mine Duro, run your own node. But if you're too lazy and you don't want to, and that's the purpose of the pools, is for people who do not want to run their own nodes or they don't know how at all. And, I have videos on actually how to set it up. It's pretty easy to do. But if you don't want to, then you use a pool. And in this case, Rabid Mining is looking for customers. Just saying. But again, it's better to mine on your node. But I've been looking into possibly mining Duro again. I actually want to run some numbers here. If we come into hashrate.no, kind of look at some GPU mining profitability right now, it's a little rough. So this is 12 cent power. We're negative. We're not as positive in anything. Even on current gen 5070. Absolutely insane. Nothing. Is a 5090 in here yet? They do got 5090 here. You're losing the most. 9 cents. Wow, you're losing more. 5090s. 5090s not that good compared to 5070s these days. 5070s better. Anyway, don't matter. Come back. So you're losing 1 cent here. But coming into the CPU department, we're seeing profit. Now, these are all the big epics. We don't really care about those. Let's look at like 7950Xs and stuff. X3Ds, 31 cents on Zeph. Is that accurate? I have no idea. But what is this saying for Duro? 7-cent profit. So not very much, but 7 cents. But another thing, this is telling me we're doing 35 kilohash. And I do believe we should be around 45 to 47 or 48 kilohash on the CPU. So we have quite a bit more hash rate than what hashrate.io is telling us. Now, this is also saying only 115 watts. I can't remember what the Duro... You know what? I should have a sheet here that tells me all this stuff from past. Let's see. Where's CPUs? Do I have CPUs? Oh, that's all my freaking... Trying to track all the freaking insane epochs every week when it came to Duro. Kyla coin, hash rates, what is all this? TNN, oh, testing all sorts of stuff here. All right, none of that is what I want. Where's 7950X, 7950X 3Ds? Here's where I have a whole bunch of stuff side by side. So do I have Duro in here? I don't think oh my gosh, I didn't even test Duro in all this. Guys, how come you guys didn't yell at me? Did you guys tell me to test Duro and I didn't? Like, I got Random X, I got Spectre, I got Virus here, I got Minotaur X, we got Flex, Cubic, Zealous, Cubic at the time. Remember, it's constantly changing. We got Ghost Rider, Zealous Hash here. Oh, on the 7950X3, 7950X, and 9950X. And I don't have Duro in here. Wow. I don't have Duro. Absolutely, I failed myself. But do I have it in... Did I do it in this? Individually? Ghost Rider? SPR? No. No. Do I have it in this? What do we got here? Duro! Right here. Put it on my miner. So, oh yeah, this is the old miner. So I don't even have the updated miner. I only have the older miner. I was sitting at 9.5 to 15 kilohash. So yeah, anyway, we do have about 40 some kilohash now, I think with Luna or something that's going on. So I'm going to have to actually test that and see what exactly it is. You know what? I have some numbers in here, so let's just go to that. Let's just go to here. So yeah, 46 kilohash I have here. Let's just look at what is the current network hash rate on Duro's. 89 mega hash. It's actually down quite a bit. 89 mega hash. Or do I, you know what? I'm going to go in here just to make sure I have this right. Let's go 89 mega hash. Put that in the kilohash. Okay, yeah, that was right. So yeah, it would have been correct. And then that's saying $1.79, but obviously we're not at $1.18 Duro. But Duro only needs to push $1.18, and the yields right now, based on that, would be freaking $1.79 on the 7950X. That's pretty freaking good, I would say. But we're not at that price right now. We are only at 35.5 cents. Remember, Duro last run went to like $23. So let's just have a look at this. 35 cents. So 35 cents right now in Duro. 0.35 cents, 35.5, it matters. It does matter. So that's 54 cents. I can't remember the power on this thing. I'm going to say, usually we're at 170 watts, but I think Duro's probably around there too, actually. So times 24 divided by 1,000 times 0. Let's go 12 cent power, 48 cents. So 48. Yeah, 6 cents. So we're making about 6 cents after power, which isn't very much right now. It does use at 12 cent power, about 48 cents worth of power. And you guys can't even see that because my screen's too small for you. Oh, can you see that now? Yeah, so here's the 54 cents that it's making right there. So now, you know, Duro $2. Say Duro hits $2, guys. You know, right now mining sucks. It's absolutely horrible, but right now is the yield time. It's time for yields, because if Duro does hit $2, that's $3.04 on a single 7950X. That's crazy. Think about it. $3 on one CPU rig. That'd be nice. That'd be absolutely awesome. If we come into here, remember, it's all about optimism. I'm not saying this is going to happen, but we're definitely hoping. If we go into Duro and look at past price predictions of an altcoin season, we can see, just like every other coin, dead, explodes, dead. So here we can see it peaked at freaking, what was it? Duro peaked at $25. Duro hit $25. So you know what? If we hit $5 on Duro, I'm freaking happy. Let's go to $5 Duro. That is $7.62 per day right now. If you were mining Duro right now at kind of slight profit, we're only making 4 cents right now. $5 Duro was $7.62 on one CPU. That's not a farm. That's not like hundreds of CPUs and entire, whatever. This is on one CPU. $7.62. If Duro can see $5, which in an altcoin season, that is nowhere near. That's 5 times less than his previous all-time high. So if Duro does something great this cycle again, it could see $10, $15, $20. Obviously, we hope a new all-time high. What would $20 Duro be? Well, that's $30 a day on a single 7950X. If you're mining it right now, that's where we are in the prime time to mine crypto right now, as long as you're a little bit in the positive side. Because if you're not in the positive side and you're in the negative, then you are better off to buy the coin. So, those are things you got to keep in mind, power prices and things. But nice. That is pretty good here. So I'm just going to go back to, what are we at? 5 cents here. Now we're back to only 54 cents. So, that's the difference between, that the markets. Everyone's quitting. People are actually now, the whole bear market, people were still building. They're stocking up. Oh, cheaper hardware, hash rate. Yeah, the profits suck. We're going to, everything's going to explode. But now people are finally saying, okay, it's time to quit. This profit sucks. Oh my gosh, I can't do this anymore. I can't afford my power bills. And people are quitting. So, and because of that, yields are starting to climb, and because the yields are climbing, that allows huge paydays when the bull run actually hits, because you're already going to want your coins when those coins start to spike. As soon as the coins start to spike, everyone's going to be turning hash rate on for it, and those yields will drop to nothing, and you're not really going to make much. You'll be profitable, but not by much, especially compared to the yields. Your yields are going to drop like 100x when coins are pumping versus what you could be getting right now, depending on power prices and everything else. Who is going to mining disrupt? Not me. I don't have a passport. I probably don't plan on getting one either. DJ Mines, I have an extra media pass for mining disrupt. Do you know anyone that needs a ticket? Look at Retro Mike is handing out mining disrupt passes. Duro mine versus buying the coin. What's that look like? Well, okay, we can look at that, but it comes down to your power price. As I just said, it's profitable right now, 7 cents. So, how can we do this? What would be a good way? I kind of did this thing with Raven coins. So, right now we're profitable. So, we're getting a yield right now of 0.033. Okay, I'm going to have to write this down. All right, so 0.033. 0.0331348. Okay, good enough. I'm not going to go all the decimal points there. So that's how much we're mining with a 7950X right now. So if we were to buy the coin, so I'm just going to go say 12 cent power here, which is around my power. My power cost is 10 to 12 cents. I'm probably back down to about 10 cents because I haven't been using much power. I have to wait for my next power bill to see where it's sitting now. But if we take 170 times 24 divided by 1,000, that's 4.08 kilowatt hours or whatever. We're going to times that by 12 cent power. So 48.96 cents is what it costs. And like I said, we're making 54 cents. So that means we have 48.96 cents to put towards buying the coin. So we're going to buy the coin here. Look at the Duro price. How much coins can we get? So we got 48 cents here, and we want to buy, divide that by 0.3432. So that doesn't make sense to me. I got something totally wrong here. Coins for mega hash. Oh no, I messed up right here. Okay, never mind. This is how many coins. This is how much you're getting per mega hash on the network. So we're actually, yeah, that makes sense, because I was like, how are we getting over one coin if we buy it and less than half a coin if we're mining it when you should be getting more? So yeah, never mind. So we're actually getting 1.52 for 2. I'm going to put that 1.52. So a coin and a half. So now if we're buying the coin, we would end up with 1.4265 5. So let's just, I'm going to scroll down here now. So we're going to come down here, scroll all the way down, just make a new stupid, not stupid, but like here is mine with a 7950X. We're getting 1.5242 coins. And this is buy the coin. And you guys can't see what I'm doing right now. So I should actually copy this. I'm going to cut this and put it over here so you guys can see it better. Copy, paste. There. Now you guys can actually see this part here that I'm doing. Now if we buy the coin for, you know, the same cost that it would cost to mine it, we would get 1.4265 coins. Now, depending how you look at it, if you sell for power or whatever, now obviously if you're buying the coin, you have no power bill or you're just straight up your money in there. So I'm just going to go straight across. You know, you're mining it still. So it's like you're buying the coin because you're still paying your power bill out of pocket in this case, right? You're paying your power bill. Just like if you bought the coin, you're paying that out of pocket. So you're still paying. This is for paying the same amount of money. And that's why using the same amount of money, if you're profitable, mine the coin. If you're not profitable, buy the coin. So that's kind of the scenario that's playing out here. So if we mine the coin for the same costs, is that you get 1.52 coins. If you buy the coin for the same cost as mining it, you get that. So that works out to be a difference of 1.52 here. So 1.5242 subtract 1.4265. That's a difference of 0.18. So obviously not much right now for 5. But now let's just see if Duro does hit, say, $20. That's an extra $3.69 that you would get from mining the coin. So you get an extra $3.69 for the same day if you to mine the coin out of pocket, then buy the coin out of pocket. So example, this here. So let's just say you get a plus $3.69 here. And then here, I just want to put in, I should have this. I don't want that. I'm going to copy this away and put it up here. So that's the extra that you get. Now here's what at $20, what this one would be worth. So 1.5242 times 20. This is worth $30 and 48 cents. And buying the coin right here, 1.4265 times 20, 28.53. So that's kind of what it looks like if Duro pumps between, see right here, it doesn't look like very much. You know, it's pretty close. You're only making, 4 cents in profit after your power costs. But looking long term, if Duro does hit $20, remember it hit $25 before, and I'm happy with only $5. But we can see at $20, that'd be worth $30.48, where if you would have just bought the coin, that'd be worth $28.53 for the day, making a difference of $3.69 over mining the coin versus buying the coin, where it's currently only looking like 4-cent profit. That's kind of what we're seeing here long term. Does that kind of make sense to you guys on what that looks like? And again, it works reverse ways. So obviously, if you reverse these and you're in the negative, you know, the 4 cents, it would look the same way pretty much, except the other way. You'd be buying this amount of coins and you'd only be mining this amount of coins. That's why if you're break even, it's, you know, you can either buy it or sell it. The option is there for either or. If you don't want that power bill, you know, obviously you can just buy the coin at break even also. But if you are in the negatives, it makes more sense to straight out buy the coin than mine the coin. And if you are in the positives in mining, you get more coins for mining the coin than buying the coin at the same cost. So that's, in a nutshell, kind of how that breaks down for you guys. This is for the same costs. That makes sense to you guys? You guys understand kind of what I'm throwing down there? Why it's better to mine at a profit and buy at a loss. I still have my Duro I won from a poker tournament. Nice, nice, nice. Why are you selling your Rabid? See, that's a lot of people. Like, I've been seeing a lot of posts on you know, Twitter and stuff when I've been mentioning that. And I see, you know when the bull runs over and it's not coming in, or mining is trash, is because YouTubers are selling all their hardware. So it's the same thing I've always been saying for 4 years is, you know, when I had the RX 580s, I sold my RX 580s and upgraded to 3000 series. I maintained around the same amount of hash rate, but I got better efficiency. So I'm not selling my hardware to quit mining. I'm selling my hardware to update the efficiency of my rigs. Example, the 3900Xs. I've been talking about that for a couple of years now. So, you know, obviously you guys following the channel, you know what I'm all about. It's all about efficiency and profit. So I don't care about the blockchains and the coins. You know, I'm always looking at profit. So updating, and something I've been looking at and considering for a while now, is upgrading from 3000 series to 7000 series, as you are getting a substantial hash boost as well as an increase in efficiency. So you're mining more coins for cheaper costs. That's just the bottom line. And then as for a lot of the other stuff, you know, I got all those gold shell miners and whatever else. You know, I'm also power limited. You know, it's going to cost me over $30,000 to update the power. It's all underground. It's got to be trenched in from a box down by the road over 100 and some feet around the side of the house to the back. So it's going to be expensive. So I also can only work with an X amount of power. So I need to run more efficient hardware. And there's people these days that are running solar and they don't care about power and, you know, just so on, or have very cheap power. So, you know, instead of having hardware here sitting there doing nothing, collecting dust and just being worthless, people can utilize this to their benefit. So that's kind of what I'm doing, is I'm redistributing my stuff to people that can use it. And I'm also trying to update my infrastructure and hardware to more efficient miners so that I can get more hash rate for the same amount of power that I've always used in the past. And that is a thing I've always done with ASIC miners and stuff when I've looked at them. Also, I don't know which ones they were, so let me just try to find, is it under Doge miners? Like Doge, like, is it Doge miners? Is it this where I did it? Power per hash per 30. Yeah, so like I haven't done it on any of the new miners, but like this is an example right here of what I kind of used to do. Now, can you see it? Do I have a top left so you can kind of see? So yeah, here you can see naming stuff, like back when here's that TP link router. This was last bull cycle. This is a scam thing, but I still put it here just to kind of, you know, look at its numbers and stuff. And it was an insane miner at the time. Now it actually sucks compared to newer miners here. But you know, just looking at things, we got our hash rate, we got our power consumption, hash per 30 amp, which means 5,700 watts at your 80%, what you can get. And we can see for 30 amps of power, 5,700 watts, running L7s, I could get 15.8 gigahash. That means 15.8 gigahash for the same amount of power is running a whole bunch of mini Doge 2s. You know, I would get 7.2 gigahash for 7,200 watts of power worth. So running these, I get over double the hash rate for the same amount of power. And that's the way I look at everything. So less efficient stuff, you know, you let people have that have solar or cheap power and stuff. And for me, it's about getting the most amount of hash rate on the power that I have in my infrastructure on getting for this, you know, the least amount of power efficiency, which means more hash rate for the same amount of power. I'm not losing any power. I don't have to upgrade my infrastructure for over $30,000. Stupid expensive. And in order to run more miners, when I can just, you know, get rid of older miners, get new efficient miners, that will boost my hash rate, and I'm still maintaining the same amount of power used. So that's how I look at things when I look at cryptocurrencies and mining and trying to run, you know, profits and whatnot. Is it's all about efficiencies for me. Or nuclear power, yes. Or you could just get a nuclear power plant and go from there. 30 amp I got. Or 80 amp. You got 80 amps of mining stuff. Nice. Like my entire panel is only 100 amps. So, you know, I got two 30 amp panels, 60 amps total. That's over half my panel. And I still need, that's leaving only 40 amps for the rest of my house. On top of, we have a hot tub, which is on a 50 amp breaker by itself, which I should probably just unplug and use that for rigs. But no, I'm not doing that. But like I still need to be able to run my house without exploding our panel or blowing the main breaker. And if that thing goes out, that could be an expensive fix. So yeah, sell the poo for burning 60 amps, 120 volt. No, 240 volt. I got 230 amps, which is 60 amps on for 240 volt, not 120 volt. Hot tub equals natural gas. Ours is a saltwater tub. It's got its heaters. We don't have a natural gas one. That probably might be better here because natural gas in Alberta is fairly cheap. Like I mentioned, like I don't heat my home with my rigs or anything. I actually, in the wintertime when they're running, I have the windows open at -40 to keep them cool, because the power savings from cooler, efficient rigs outweighs heating my house with them, because natural gas is fairly cheap here. 240 volt the way all we get. Yeah, UK's lucky. Everyone, they don't have 110, 120, 240 volt mixtures and all that. Like you got a socket, it's 220. You just plug stuff in and go. It doesn't matter what room you're in. If there's a socket there, you plug in anything, an ASIC, whatever you got, just plug it in. And that's a nice thing about UK. I wish North America would adopt that as well. I think it'd be more efficient. That'd be less amps in general over the entire infrastructure of all the networks, and everything should just run 240 volt in the houses. That should be an updated thing. North America is slacking behind on the power department, although Europe power cost is a lot more, so maybe for that infrastructure it costed too much to get going, and now all the power companies are gouging everybody. Natural gas powered electric generator for the win. That could work. NG is super cheap. That's why Atlanta has super low kilowatt hour price. That, and we have a nuke plant. Yeah, nuke plants. So they're thinking about putting a nuke plant in Alberta here. Now, hopefully it doesn't melt down and, I have to like evac ASAP. But if they could get that power plant going here in Alberta, that'd be pretty sweet. Then we could probably see some really nice power prices. They're trying to update everything. They're trying to get things going, but power in Alberta here still kind of sucks. On top of Hut 8's buying up all the power plants, so they're owning them all, so that doesn't help. Oh man. I'm driving over right now. I'm coming. He's on his way. Oh man. All my windows are open. It's like 40 Fahrenheit outside. I don't know what the temperature is here right now. I think it's, I'm going to look. I think it's only like +1. Oh yeah, it's only like +1 Celsius. +2. +2 feels like +1 right now. On Tuesday, it's supposed to be +9 Celsius. So see there, Tuesday is supposed to be pretty nice. What is that? AI Bundy Panda alert. What is this AI Bundy? What's going on? I missed it. At the start of the stream, everyone started saying AI Bundy Panda raid. So what's happening? I missed something. There's some new joke going on about AI Bundy Panda. What did I miss? Panda, what's happening? Everyone should be DC, and I hate to admit it, should be DC. Yeah, which one is there? There's DC and there's AC. Which one's the clean? I totally forget all this. Back when I used to do my motors tests and all this stuff. AC and DC. One's a clean power and one's a voltage that's kind of spikes. It's a dirty power. Which one's the clean one? I always forget. You got to get the conversion over to it. Is DC the clean one and AC is the dirty power coming in and that gets converted to the DC? Is that the way it works, or am I backwards? Direct current. So yeah, direct current DC. That's the clean energy. Yeah, that's the clean one instead of the alternating. Think DC is clean. Okay, yeah. All AC is converted to DC to run your PC hardware. Gotcha. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So yeah, DC is the clean energy. Gotcha. AC is a synth wave pattern. A battery is DC. House is AC. Everything really runs on DC. It just gets converted. The power supply takes in AC and then goes to DC. All right, so yeah, that all makes sense. Kind of had this backwards. It's been a while since I had to really, talk about AC and DC. Skipper is saying AC is a way more efficient way to transmit than DC, which, yeah, I think that's true also. And then, well, if it all gets converted over back into the DC from that. So, it makes sense for transmission, but honestly, when you look at the transmission cost of our power, they're not taking the cheapest route, or they're super price gouging us, because that's the majority of my bill. Like, I am locked in from the power company directly, and I rant about this all the time. You guys are probably getting tired of it, but I'm locked in at like 6.5 cent Canadian power. That's my power cost at the power company, 6.5 cents. Now, now that's from Epcor, I believe, and then we got Fortis Alberta, Fortis there. they run the distribution. That's the power lines, the power poles, and things like that. And depending, that's on like they have two standard flat rates and then a variable rate. So they got two standard rates they charge you, transmission and whatever the distribution. Those two costs are there. And then they also got this variable rate depending on the amount of power that you use as well. And you cannot negotiate anything. That's just a set standard that they do. There's like no law that they can only be at this X amount. So I got a 6.5 cent power rate Canadian, which is like what, 4 cent USD. And then I got these third party EPCOR charging you to get the power to your house. And that's over half my power bill, over half of it. So I go from 6.5 cent power to 15.5 cent power, depending on the amount of power I use in Canadian, which drops me down to around that 10.5, 11 cent USD power. But my power bill is coming from EPCOR, the third party. And we watch like on the news here in Canada, like it's different from there, but they like, you just call your power company, try to get it locked in, don't use fixed rates. But we have that. We have a locked in 5-year plan at 6.5 cent power from EPCOR. When it comes into our distribution, they cannot change it. They don't budge. There's no law that they have to charge anything. They can do whatever the heck they want, and you cannot change it. I've called them multiple times. I even told them, well, I'm moving to BC because you guys are trash. I said those exact words. I'm not going to be using the power here in Alberta anymore. I'm moving over to BC because it's cheaper and we don't get ripped off. And I went on a rant with those guys because they would not do anything at all. And yeah. I told them I'm leaving Alberta because of it. Anyway, yeah. So it sucks. It sucks. We're getting our transmission stuff from third parties is what's destroying our power bills. DC is extremely difficult over long distances. Tesla transmitted electricity across the Atlantic Ocean without using wires. I think it's about transmission on the power lines as well. DC must die out over footage versus AC. Yes, for long distances, make your own DC and don't convert. Yeah, all this DC crazy stuff going on. Would you mind touching on the Zeph audit? Amplifier BTC over in the Twitch stir. Yeah, we could take a look at it. Let's just see kind of what's going on here. I got to move that out of the way. That was one thing I wanted to talk about too. You guys hear about that new miner? Okay, where is Zeph? Zeph, where are you? What is there? Any new updates on? No, I don't see any new updates yet. It's still the same latest announcement. So yeah, this is the latest thing that we know of is a hard fork date, March 31st. Oh, that's coming up. What is today? That's not my clear. Where's my calendar? Where'd pop up? Okay, calendar here. So today's 23rd. So next Monday, hard fork date. So let's just see this. We're rolling out our auditing hard fork HF on the March 31st as a critical milestone for our chain audit and commitment to maintaining chain integrity. Key details, hard fork date, March 31st. Updated downloads will be available ahead of time and will be announced when ready. So they must not be ready yet, but they should be coming anytime now. Audit in Windows. Throughout the month of April, all users will have the opportunity to audit their coins. So this is like a self-audit. We're probably going to have to send ourselves our own coins or something. This process is essential to confirm the integrity of your assets and our overall supply. GUI wallet functionality. Our GUI wallets, web, Windows, and OS X will be updated with streamlined auditing functionality designed to be as close to a one-click process as possible to make this as painless as we can for everyone. So keep in mind though, guys, if you're holding Zeph, you're going to have to do this. So you're going to have to download this latest wallet once it's ready. And then once they implement this hard fork, then we're going to have to do this, whatever, send ourselves our own coins. You know, we all have to do a transaction or something. So they can kind of count the coins, see what there is for circulating supply and stuff. Mandatory audit here is all assets on the network will require auditing. Zeph, ZSD, ZRS, and ZYS. So I only have Zeph. I don't care about their Zeph SD, their reserve token, and I don't even know what that one is, but I don't care about them. Please ensure you follow the instructions once the update is available, but as mentioned, this will be made as painless as possible. So obviously we'll look into that and try to record something on that once it's available. We recognize that this development and process has taken longer than we initially anticipated. We apologize for the delays. Our approach has evolved significantly over time, and in addition, the necessary emergency hard fork V7 to fix the morphing assets bug has ultimately set us back. But we've been working hard and still working hard behind the scenes in order to bring the update for Zephyr as soon as we can, while being as rigorous as we can. We remain fully committed to providing a robust, secure protocol, and for us to move on from this and work much more exciting features and developments. Thank you for your continued support. So next Tuesday, the hard fork will be coming into play. The wallet should be available sooner. So in the next few days, maybe we are going to have to update that. In order to do that, then once the fork goes through, we're going to have to go through whatever their as close to a one-click process as possible here. And get our wallets and stuff audited. That way they can figure everything out and decide what to do stepping forward. And then once that's all done, sometime in April, might only take a week, might take 2. They might give it the whole month because, it comes down to people. Not everyone's going to be like, okay, well, I have this. Because there's always going to be someone that said, well, I didn't know. Now you lost your coins or whatever ends up happening if you don't do your audit. So I don't know what the timeline is going to be, but when this is over and they're done their audit, then we should see exchanges given the okay to open up again. And, once they decide what they want to do and stuff, and then hopefully everything is okay. And then, Zeph will commence as it normally did. And maybe we'll see $4, $5, $6, $7,000 Zeph, right? Let's go. Moon time's coming. Maybe. Or it's going to 0 and it's shutting down the chain because something major bad is there. So we'll see what happens going forward, though. But that looks like kind of like the timeline that's happening there. So hopefully that kind of helped you out there, Amplifier BTC. Not that is exciting, but also a hard fork on Nexa blockchain. I've heard a rumor that the GPU miners might have a tweak to make GPUs competitive with the ASICs on Nexa. Don't know if true. I heard something like that, too. I heard someone saying an FPGA was going to be absolutely insane at that. Now, I didn't know what they were talking about, so I can't remember. I got a DM, and someone said, check out the numbers of an FPGA on Nexa for the fork or something. I was like, what? I'm like, what fork? What's going on? So, yeah, I'm not sure. So that must be what they were trying to tell me, is that an FPGA is like an ASIC now. But, yeah, very interesting. That they're trying to tweak it. So what? Like, if they're trying to tweak it back up, between ASIC, why don't they just fork the chain and get rid of ASICs? Like, who's running is that Dragon Ball that's running the Nexa ASICs also? I can't remember. Dragon Ball. It seems like anything Dragon Ball touches just burns and melts and turns to trash. But, if this seems like they want to bring it closer together, maybe they got a payout. So that's an interesting too. Like, maybe they got what Radiant was doing where, okay, yeah, you guys can mine the majority of our chain on 90% hash rate and give us, a 10-20% kickback, no problem, we'll take that. Maybe Nex is doing the same thing, but allowing the ASICs to remain, but still hindering them by allowing faster speeds on the GPU side. So that's an interesting aspect, and I think that's actually a decent aspect, because now you can still run your normal hardware and compete with overpriced ASICs, but that would suck for anyone who purchased those ASICs, if they're even for sale yet. Like I said, I don't know what's all going down with Nexa right now, but we do know eventually it was supposed to turn into an ASIC platform anyway, so we'll just see what happens going forward. Osprey is working on Nexa Stream, I thought. Maybe. Yeah, actually, I think you're right, Squirrel Master. I think Osprey was trying to work on something for that. ASIC was in their roadmap from day one. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, eventually it's going to be ASIC, so I find it interesting they're trying to tweak it now. So I don't know what's going on. Long term, just think Nexa is never going to be GPU. It's going to die eventually. So we'll just see what happens. Just have that in the back of your mind ready to go. At Rabid Mining, AL Bundy Panda. What is going on with this Bundy Panda? What is happening with this? What did I miss? Not AI. All Bundy Panda? It's not AI. It's AL. AL Bundy Panda. What's AL Bundy Panda? What is happening? Oh, okay. Anyway, did you guys hear about Goldshell's latest miner? I don't know if you're allowed to talk about it or not yet, but I'm sure somebody must have said something by now. I think I have one in the mail that I'm waiting on, but I can't get a hold of UPS because they're closed on the weekends. But have you guys heard about the Byte? They're Byte miners? So this is supposed to be a dual algo miner, and it's not like, it must be an ASIC. It has to be an ASIC, but it's in the form of cards. So it's almost giving me Locatech Hashblade vibes. So it's supposed to be cards, and it's a dual mining card. The first one that's releasing sounds like it's going to be a Leo and Litecoin, which means a Dogecoin script miner. So a Leo and script mining together in one card, and there's going to be multi cards that they're going to release, and you can just swap the card out supposedly to mine other algorithms. Like, that's in a nutshell kind of what I'm getting right now, but I'm not sure how this thing works, what it really even looks like. It's just some of the information that I was DM'd, so I don't know. LOL bite, next we'll slap. Yeah, well, it's BYTE. That's why it was an itch, because what was it? I got an email from Gold Shell. It was like a month ago. And they said, would you like to try an AE box or the Byte or our Byte miner? I was like, what the hell is a Byte miner? I didn't even hear of it. I went to mining pool stats, nothing showing up for Byte other than Digibyte. And I'm like, well, I don't want just a single Digibyte miner. So I'm like, well, I guess I'll try the AE box, because what the hell is a Byte miner, right? And then I couldn't find a coin called Byte. I went through Google and everything, nothing. So then eventually I found out, like last week, that it's the name of their new thing, and it looks like a card, a GPU or something, but it's like an ASIC that dual mines freaking coins. So I don't know if you plug it into your motherboards. It's giving me Hashblade vibes. So maybe they stole Locatech's design somehow. We're getting pre-release Locatechs without Locatech under Gold Shell. Wouldn't that be something freaking hilarious? So I don't know, but it's a dual mining card for. Currently, the first card that's going to be releasing is for a Leo and script. So you're going to be mining a Leo as well as Litecoin, Dogecoin, Bell's Coin, whatever's on the script algorithm there, soon to be Meow Coin as well. So, you know, that's actually kind of interesting. I have zero idea what any of the numbers are. Coming from Gold Shell, they're probably not very good, but it's an interesting concept, which I have no clue how it works yet. But I think I have one in the mail. I just don't know where the hell it is. I have no tracking. They said they sent it Monday, and I have not. And I asked them for tracking 3 times now. They never gave me any tracking. They said, yeah, we sent it on Monday. I'm like, well, do you have tracking? And then they said, yeah, I got them all shipped out. I'm like, where's the tracking? And now, like, I got a call from UPS, and they said, you know, we have an import. I don't even know if it's from them or someone else. I have no idea. But, you know, okay, yeah, I did all that. Now I don't even have a tracking number. I use my phone number, but you can't track with your phone number on the website, and they're closed this weekend, and it might even be here in the morning, but I haven't even paid import fees yet, and it's a freaking mess. Gold Shell Hashblade. That's what, if that's what it looks like, or it's a card like that, that's what I'm going to name it. I'm going to say, I got Gold Shell's Hashblade. Hashblades released from Gold Shell, or, you know, something like that, but I have no idea. I looked at that email. I had hopes that they will just have replacement modules in the future, and you could just have one standard chassis, like a dual slot blade server. Yeah, I'm not sure. That, like, from what I gather, James from Gold Shell said, you can change your cards. The first card they're releasing is, like, I saw an image somewhere, and I don't know where the heck it is. No, let me bring up my email. So maybe I have it in here somewhere. Like, where's my mail? I don't even know where my mail is. And you guys are going to see all my hack stuff. I got to move this somewhere. No, don't come here. Okay, out of the way. All right, did I get that out quick enough for you guys see all my super secret stuff? Okay, let's see if I can find this. That. Okay, I don't know what that is. No. This? No, I don't know what that is. Some type of scam. No. No, Bitmars trying to invite me to Mining Disrupt. Another one, Bitmain trying to invite me to Mining Disrupt. PR Restream. No. What's this? Is this the picture? It's not loading. Oh, come on, load. Why isn't it loading? Come on. This is the email, but it's not loading. Load. Okay, yeah, right here. So it's a little bit different, but yeah, okay, here we go. So here's the AE box too, obviously, but here's the Byte thing. Look at whatever this thing is. I don't know what it plugs into. These are like cards or something. You just snap them into something. Like, I don't know what's going on, or if this just like an AI image. It's not really how it works, but this is their byte, some small compact thing that can mine a Leo and Litecoin. And it sounds like each one of these could be a different one. And then if you want to mine different algorithms, you pull it out and put in a new one, or however the heck it works. Or maybe they're going to have like a hub where you can put in a whole bunch of them, like a rig. Like, I don't know. I have no idea what the heck this thing is, what it looks like, or how it's going to work. So that's all I know so far. So I'm curious if you guys heard about that thing. Weather picking up now. Just added another 2.4 kilowatt battery to my solar. Nice. Good stuff. Rabid, what CPU rigs will you get after selling your stuff? Great question. Well, I want to test the 9950X3D, obviously, here. I need a new motherboard for my workstation because I think it is blowing up. And then, obviously, I'm looking for an all-white one. So, now I need to put my new workstation together. I have this all-white Be Quiet 902 Dark Base Pro, huge freaking case that I want to build an all-white build in. So, I need a new motherboard, so I'm going to go for some all-white motherboard and then try the 9950X3D in it and test that out. And then once I see how well it does, I'll decide. Now, that's probably going to be too expensive, so I'm probably just going to end up with possibly 7950Xs, maybe 7950X3Ds, but, you know, I'm not 100% sure yet. Well, no, I do want to test out that X3D first, and then I'll just price things out and see what numbers look like and go from there. Mark your Discord server messages as read. What? Mark them as read? Mark them all as read? Why? I haven't read them, so why would I mark them as read? I need to read them first. You also got that byte thing coming. Yeah, I don't know. You'll probably get yours first because my tracking's all screwed up and messed up. Or maybe I got red pandas and Panda has mine. Just like with our Hive shirts. But yeah, I don't know what that thing is. It's weird. It's something. I don't know. I don't know no idea what any of the numbers or anything are on them. So I wonder who the other person is. I wonder who all got one of those. They're probably lying to me. So we're gonna see. This is a good test, Panda. This is gonna be a good test to see if Goldshell lied to us or not. What'd they tell you? They told me that 3 people are getting them. Obviously, Panda's one of them. They said I'm one of 3. So who's the other person? Is it Hobbyist? Is it Vosk? Who's the third person? So I'm curious to see, is there going to be 3 videos releasing pretty soon, or is there going to be like 20 and they claim that, you know, you're something special? So we're about to find out. Let's keep an eye out on how many byte videos are going to release here over the next few days, because I am curious to see what it is. No, but they said 3 total. You named 4 right there, plus there's you and myself, so that's 5. And they said they only gave out 3. That's what they told me anyway. You're one of 3. So we'll see. And obviously Panda's 2 of 3. So we got 2 of us pinned down right now. Who's the third? Or did they just send out one to everybody? That's what we're about to find out. This is going to be interesting to see how much truth Goldshell told us so far. Hobbyist said he had one also. He said he was getting one or something. So that's 3 confirmed that we know of right now. Is that what you're saying, Monkey Dude? And Jay Styles? He said he had one on the way, so that's the 3 confirmed. So it's curious if we see anyone else other than those 3 that they show up. Goldshell, they hate me too, but I also went on a rant with them telling them, because what was it? I can't remember what it was. What miner? There was a miner they sent to everybody but me. And I asked them, is it because I said all your stuff sucks? And then they said, we welcome all valid reviews. We just ran out of units or something is what they said. That was what they ended up saying after that. But I asked them, was like, did you quit sending me stuff because I said all your stuff sucks? Well, maybe you should do better. That's the exact words I told them. And they said, oh, no, we just ran out of views. We welcome all reviews. So we'll see. Oh, man. How is Apollo V2X doing? 1200 megahash. It's pretty good. Let's just see, what is its current, what's V2X? What is this thing? 56 cents a day. You know, that's not too shabby for only, what is it, 160? Actually, it was using what, 170 watts, 168. So it's doing not too bad. You know, 57 cents after power. It's pretty good. Like, who would have thought we would soon have a 1.2 gigahash ETH hash miner at 167 watts or something it was. So imagine if this thing was released. So I wish I could go back in time right now and mine Ethereum with this thing. Could you imagine that? This thing 4 years ago? Holy hell. Your power bill would be nothing. You're making $100 a day. For a 50-cent power bill, 20-cent power bill. Like, oh my gosh, that would have been absolutely insane. Obviously, the network hash rate would have exploded, and these things would cost probably $100,000. But, oh man, that would have been an absolutely insane thing. Amplify BC, what we got? Our 9000 series CPUs good at CPU mining? Got any pics with Byte Miner? You want a white motherboard? What about the white tax? What's the white tax? Well, I'm looking at probably an X870 Gigabyte Elite. It's a pretty nice white motherboard. It's pretty sweet looking. Yeah, the Aurorus Ice, I think is what I'm looking at. Now, I was looking in because one thing, X870s are kind of like a Nerf. Let's just look at X870 Elite Ice. Let's just have a quick peek at this motherboard here. Elite Ice. Even the BIOS is like in white. They have the BIOS white also to match the motherboard. It's kind of cool. But yeah, here's the motherboard right here. But if you're unfamiliar with X870 versus X670, X670 I think is the better chipset. Now, well, that's a lie because they're the same. They're the same chipsets. If you watched hardware unboxing and stuff, I think you kind of went through this. A couple other people did too. It's the same chipset. They didn't do a new chipset in the X870s. They opened up more memory support, so you can use more memory into it, like up to 256 gigabytes, I believe you can use in terms of memory now. So that's awesome. Some motherboards support higher speeds. So I do have some 8000 megahertz RAM that I would like to try and see if it worked in here because it didn't work in my DS3Hs and stuff. But so that's a test I'd like to do. But the major thing here is PCI lanes. They are nerfed in this thing. So this does have 3 M2 drives in it. Actually 4. One right here, and then 2 more here. These 2 are PCI Gen 5, and then I think there's another, and these ones are 4, and then a 3. Now, if you use, the major thing is I have 2 M2 drives, one my gaming drive, one my Windows drive. So it does sound like you can use that in this one. That was the one thing. I didn't know if it was 1 or 2, depending on the brand. Some of them only allow 1, some of them allow 2. But once you use a third M2 in this thing down here, so I would be okay with my gaming drive here. This is PCI Gen 5. This is PCI Gen 5 up here. Then these 2 down here, if I put in an M2 drive, it limits your GPU PCI lanes from times 16 right in half down to times 8. So you're cutting half your speed from your PCI. So if you have a 5090 in here and, you got a bunch of drives, you're trying to game, or, you're running Vast AI on the off time or something like that, you're cutting your lanes from 16 down to only X8 on your actual PCI Express here on the new motherboards, where X670s, I don't think had that issue. You could load it up and be fine. So this is kind of a nerf for X870s, depending also on the brand and stuff. Remember, some only allow 1, some allow 2. And if you come down to where it says the memory stuff, where is it? Oh, maybe it's actually in the special support. Support, load support. Load, engage. Okay, it's not working. There we go. See, memory support. I don't want that. Manual. That's what I want. English. This one. So yeah, let's look at it exactly where it is. So they have it labeled here, but we scroll down. Wherever it says memory. Installing. This is if you don't know how to install stuff. It tells you how to install it. Where does it have it? Now I won't be able to find it because I'm live. Before I knew exactly. I found it pretty easily. Now I can't find it. But it tells you what slots to use and what slots not to use and things like that, and where you cut your lanes down and stuff. But now we're in the BIOS, so that's not. Must be way up at the start here somewhere. Okay, nope. Here you can see the slots. There's 1 right here, M2 right here, M2 right here, M2 right here, and here. So it's these 2 right here, M2C and M2B which if you populate them with these two populated, you cut the lanes by half to your PCI Express. So this one here will allow two M2s, which, okay, I'm like, all right, this one does allow two M2s. It's a white motherboard. I'm probably going to have to try to get this one. But where's the actual thing where it says it? Integrated graphics, support for DDR, do support, da-da-da-da. Nope. Expansion slots. Maybe it's right here. Maybe it's this spot right here. Let's make this a little bigger so you guys can see. So, where is it? Storage interface. M2 connector, 3 more. Right here. So AMD 79000 series support, 5.0. The M2B CPU and M2C CPU connectors become unavailable when AMD Ryzen 8000. Oh, that's the wrong CPU there. Where's the one with the actual ×1? CPU support, socket 3. Where is this it? PCI Express X16. Is that the PCI EX4 slots, bandwidth, M2D? Where the heck is it? I can't find it now. And this is it right here. But anyway, that's pretty much how it works down. It's talking about the populations here. Oh, right here. Oh, right here it is. When the M2B CPU or M2C CPU, either one, that means if you go over, you use the third one or fourth, as soon as you hit that third one, connector is populated, the PCI Express X16 slot operates at up to ×8 mode, limiting it by 50%. So that's M2B and M2C. If any of them get populated here. So if we come up and we look at those slots, M2, M2B, M2C. So these two right here. If any of these two, and now these two here are okay, because this is a PCI Gen 5 slot, this is a PCI Gen 5, and these ones are ×4 and ×3 anyway. Or Gen 4 and Gen 3, I think. Can't 100% remember what they are. But yeah, if any of these ones get populated, you cut that. So that's one thing to keep in mind with X870s, depending on what you're building and what you want to use. Obviously, for a mining rig, you don't need a whole bunch of drives and things like that. But this is my workstation. And you are getting limited to your GPU if you add in too many M2 drives, which is, depending on what you're going to be using your CPU or your PC and stuff for, that's a pretty big deal. Any word on Locatech and their single and double barrel script miners? Seems to be the forgotten myth at this point. They're not forgotten, but they keep the lane. So we'll see what happens. DJ Mind is going to be there. Retro Mike will probably be there. And, whoever's all there. We'll see if they announce if Locatech is running around with the briefcase strapped to their arm again or not with handcuffs, or if they actually have a display unit. I imagine it's supposed to be it was supposed to be released towards the end of last year. And then they said sometime middle of this year. And now it might be the end of this year. Honestly, pretty soon it's going to get to the point where the run is over and people don't care. Or maybe they got them ready. They're just waiting for Doge to actually peak. Then they can sell them for a lot more expensive than, anticipated. But we'll just have to wait and see what happens. Hopefully they release, because obviously if the numbers are accurate and they last long, no other miner can touch them currently. They are the ultimate in efficiencies and insane 2 gigahash at a little over 150 watts or something is absolutely insane. So if that becomes a thing, that's definitely a king bear market script miners that you're going to want to have. I did hear rumors somehow, I don't know how much truth is to it, but, the Bitmain's kind of trying to figure out what Locatech is doing. Bitmain's kind of falling behind. They're still the king of Bitcoin, but they're starting to fall back on other algorithms. We got Ice River pricing more competitive and close to the same performances, not quite. But we have Jazz miners that are looking into things. We got AlphaPex now that's doing pretty good, script miner and stuff, but Jazz miner, they dominate Bitmain up, down, just bend them over when it comes to ETH hash. And, it sounds like Jazz Miner is working on a Bitcoin miner, which again would bend them over. And then if they come out with a script miner or something, and it looks like, are we getting bot attacked? What's going on here? What is happening? Oh my gosh. We're getting insane. Is this on? Hold on. Let me check my settings. This should be subscribe only, or what's going on? We're under attack. We're under siege. Guys, chat is exploding. Somebody fix it. Holy crap. Oh my gosh, we're under siege, guys. We're under siege. I gotta make sure I have subscriber only on. Is there a whole bunch of them, or is that one person? Like, what do we hit? You guys see what's happening here? Fix this. We're under siege. Oh my gosh, chat is exploding. There's a massive bot army just destroying everything. What is? I can't even click fast enough. How are you guys clicking? I see Panda got a couple hidden. I see. I don't want to actually hit the wrong person. TT. What is TT ecosystem scam? You know, it'd be okay if these bots would spam super chats. You know, I'd be okay with that. Okay, it's slowing down. No, it's not. Oh my gosh. Remove bat pin. Where's the automatic hide user from channel? Yeah. Oh my gosh, we're under siege. This is insane. What is going on? Oh, is it over? Is it over? Is it done? I need some more mods. We're on mod recruiting. What is happening? Okay, is there any more? Schiller, Never, Moon, what? Stop. That guy. Get him. Hide. How do we fix this? Make me a mod. Atobi says make me a cam. I'm trying. I'm looking. Make sure I click the right person. I don't want to mod a... What's it called? I think that went through. Atobi. Might have. What did I stumble upon? Everything's exploding. Okay, where is this? Remove. Timeout. Hide. Oh my gosh, there's so many. What is happening? They're back. They're coming back. Oh my gosh, this is insane. This is insane. How do we... Ban. It's a ban attack. We need a ban attack. What is this? Black unicorn is a something. Oh my god. I don't know how this works. This is insane. Okay. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. They just keep coming in with new names. It's the same person like over and oh my gosh. Nobody gives a flying half about Moon. Why are these doing this? I don't know. We're under siege. This is insane. It is. Chat. Oh, chat subscriber. Isn't chat in subscriber mode? It used to always be. Did it get changed? Hold on. I'm looking for this. Community monetization. I'm going through my files. This all used to be. Did something get reset? Did YouTube do an update and now it's all back to normal? Coming back. Where is subscriber mode? Oh, I haven't had to deal with this forever. Customization, redirect, message delays, who can send messages, change. Try that. Oh, I think it was back into anyone. Is it fixed? Did that fix it? What happened? When did that get reset? That was insane. Oh my gosh. When did that got reset back to default somehow? Must have been today. The war is over. Oh my gosh. That was something else. That was oh, I hope good thing everyone's on their toes today. I'm just trying. I don't even know what I was talking about. I look over and I see the chat out of the corner of my eye just exploding. And what the? Oh my gosh, it was Trump. Oh my gosh, that was insane. Yeah, they didn't even hit the like. Like, what's wrong with them? What kind of bot does that? The AI invasion. Like, yeah, we got nailed there. It's fine over here on the Twitchster. The Twitchster was okay. Oh my gosh, Tubester got nailed. That was insane. Don't forget to check out Moon. Well, we're gonna be mooning. Our coins are ready to moon. Whatever. I gotta look at this. What is this crap? Is it a thing? Where's coin market cap? Did I lose it? I lost it. Oh, here it is. What is this? Is this a real thing? Moon INU. There's a Moon INU. Oh man. That was something. That was definitely something. That was insane. I can only do so much on my phone. Panda probably banned, like, who knows, real people. Just hitting everything. Ban, block, block, block. I can see how many DMs I get later. Who got hit? It's all Patrick Murphy's fault. Good time to have many mods. Unreal 8-9. That was crazy. That was insane. Are there any 7950Xs around me? Good question. I don't know. Let's take a look. Kijiji, the world's greatest buy and sell platform that's only available in Canada. I don't know. Is this only a Canadian thing? I'm pretty sure it is. 7950X. Let's see what shows up. 6 days ago. 6 days. London. Oh, these are all across Canada. There was one in Edmonton. Oh, two and $999. Yeah, you could buy a 9950X 3D for that price. What is that guy on glue? That guy's on glue. Unless he has more. Oh, he also has a motherboard. Oh, the B650M DS3H, 32 gigabyte Corsair Redmond RAM. Power supply. Oh, that's actually not too bad. A little $1,000 for a rig. Strathcona County, I think that's by me. For the most part. Woodstock. Who's going to Woodstock? Montreal, Oakville. Someone Edmonton International Airport. No. Well, there's a couple, I guess. There's a few. Oh, you got a 5950X for sale on there? I wonder if we can find it. There's some Elmer's glue. How much 5950X? People are looking. Next GPU I'm getting for my game PC is a XFX Magnetic Air 9070 XT. That sounds like AMD. Are you confident in AMD moving forward? Because remember, you also want your gaming PC to maybe even mine crypto. And I sadly, I don't think I'd ever buy AMD again. Just they have no miner support. They got some SRB miner, and there's another. I think who is it? Why can't I think of it? I can't remember. TT? No, not TT. Anyway, but I think he's working on some AMD. But for the most part, like AMD's been rough since Team Red Miner got bought by FPGA Bitstream people, and he doesn't work on GPUs and stuff anymore. And like support is lacking. Like it's a new coin will emerge or a new algorithm, and everyone will be mining the crap out of it. And AMD won't see support for like 2 months later when it's either not worth mining anymore or you totally missed all the good yields. Like it's the support is so slow, and I don't know. And their drivers are kind of trashy, and it's just crazy. I don't know. I don't think I'd ever buy AMD because I want multi-purpose. So if you get a GPU, spending that kind of money on a GPU also, you want it to work for everything. Yeah, just gaming, but in the off time, if crypto explodes or something happens, you want to swap your gaming PC over to a crypto PC and start collecting some money in the off time. And I don't know. That's just my 2 cents on the situation. You got any RTX 5090s you used to be super hyped for? No, I don't. There's none around me, and I can't afford them right now, so hopefully soon I can. And yeah, but no, right now I don't. Don't got none. I am super hyped for it. I want it, but I can't afford it right now. AMD GPU is no longer cheap. It's not, so they went up in price a lot too. GPU mining is never coming back. Plain and simple. I took a gamble and traded all my GPUs for 170 HXs. I think the 170s are doing not too bad, or I guess they're not the top anymore. What are the 170s? -4 on Ergo. What were they dominating? Zealous. Aren't they really good on Zealous? -6. What's 5070 doing on Zealous? -5. 44 kilohash. And what's the 170 on it? 44. 61.28. Everything runs off grid on solar, so I decided to fully commit to GPU mining. Nice. Yeah, see, there you go. Someone on solar. They don't care about the power costs. They're hashing away. Holy crap, it's 12:30, guys, from that bot attack and stuff. So we've been here for an hour and a half. So I think we're going to wrap this one up. I do appreciate everyone for showing up to this live stream. We had some fun times and some bans and hides and things happening. So that was exciting. But I appreciate you all. I'll see you all in the next one.
Rabid out.